Welcome to Raining Blue and White. I'm your host, Robert. This is the place where we talk about Penn State football and college football in general. Our main goal here is to cut the bull and be as lean, mean as a fighting defense and as versatile as a pro-style offense. Let's get rolling. Before we get into the Army-Navy spread prediction and everything, we're going to go into Penn State news. Last night, I'm saying late afternoon, the defensive corner Manny Diaz has accepted a job at Duke as their head coach. So now Penn State's looking for a new defensive coordinator, which is not a good idea for us because he's been the backbone of our defense as our defensive coordinator for the last 2 years. And the bigger question is, why Duke, of all places? That's not a step up as a head coach. That's actually a step down when he was a head coach at Miami before coming to Penn State. It's like, really doesn't make sense on that aspect. But it is a head coaching job. I wish him good luck, but I don't think it's going to be good. Now, into the Army-Navy game. Of course, U.S. Army. Okay, the tail of the tape. On my phone, I have the last couple games. We're going to go back in the Army. Both teams, I'm going to go back to the Air Force game and how the scores after the games that they play. Army beat Air Force 23-3, 20-point victory over Air Force. Then he went against Holy Cross, which most people say who cares, but they beat them 17-14. Then Coastal Carolina, which I think, if I remember right, is in the same conference as Navy, beat them 28-21. Now we'll go into the Navy. Okay, got that. Now I'm getting into all the past games. It takes a few seconds to load up. Going up to the Air Force game. Okay, with the Air Force against Navy game, because we're working back from the Air Force games for both of them. Air Force beat Navy 17-6. That was a bad thumping. Then they lost to Temple, which I'm from Pennsylvania originally. So Temple's in Philadelphia. They pretty much lost to Temple 32-18. Then they went against UAB, which they beat UAB 33-6. Then they went against Eastern Carolina, which they beat 10-0. Then their last game, SMU beat them 59-14, very heavy-handedly. So that gives you a real interesting thought process. It's not going to look pleasant, but I'm going to go back to the Army one, which is a team that it was better than the Navy this year that Army played. Which this was a little eyebrow raising to me. Because I was looking at the conference standings for, of course, let's see here. Scrolling, trying to find it. Yeah, okay. There it is. Army faced UTSA at the beginning of the season, near the beginning of the season. And beat UTSA. Oh, wait, no, UTSA won. I thought I must have misread it. I thought that Army beat them. I thought that was going to be an eyebrow raiser there. Now, my fault on that one. Okay, now we're done with the tail of the tape. This is going to be most of the meetings of the Army-Navy game. This is what I call the battle of the military branches for a reason. Because these are the two oldest military schools in college football. Besides, we have one other one, of course, that's, of course, Air Force. But you have to understand, Army service members and Navy service members, even Air Force and Marine Corps officers bet on this game. It's a yearly event for us. And also, us veterans still will root for our branch of service. For example, Air Force vets will pretty much root for Army because of one reason. That's where Air Force came from. While Marines will root for Navy for one reason. All the ones that go to a military academy, Marines go to Annapolis, Maryland, which is Navy's school. So that's another one reason why. And out of all the matchups, usually the highest amounts are usually in Philadelphia, D.C., like the Maryland area, and New Jersey. Of course, Meadowlands and MetLife Stadium. In Baltimore, they usually would play in Baltimore, and which would be the Ravens Stadium, or that would be FedEx Stadium, FedEx Field, which is in Landover, Maryland. So there's those two right there, or MetLife, and also Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia. But this year it's going to be out of the normal because it's going to be at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts. So this is going to be an interesting game, totally different for both teams. So I'm giving it a 2 to 20 point spread. This could be a thumping or it could be very close. I give Army the advantage by 55%. I give them the chance. They have a better chance compared to how Navy has played after the Air Force game compared to Army. Army's been playing pretty consistently. So of course, it's going to be a flashback on offense, but defense is going to be pretty interesting. Okay, make sure you like, subscribe, follow me on X, comment in the comments, and I'll talk to you next time. We are Penn State. Make sure you lock and load. See you next time.